it back. Our next guests are psychiatrists who practice a little differently. Let's listen to Jim and Eugene Nininger. Give them a big hand.
In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down to mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans, and we fought the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. Fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. Wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began a-running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, we looked down the river and we see the British come, and there must have been 100 of them beating on the drum. Stepped so high and they made the bugles ring. We stayed beside the cotton fields and didn't say a thing. Fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. Wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began a-running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, they ran through the briars and they ran through the brambles, and they ran through the bushes where a rabbit couldn't go. They ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch them down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Long about 1825, I left Tennessee very much alive. Never would have made it through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been a-riding on Tennessee studs. Got into trouble with my sweetheart's pa. One of her brothers was a bad outlaw. Wrote her a letter by her Uncle Dud, and I got away on Tennessee stud. Tennessee stud was long and lean, color of the sun, and his eyes are green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like Tennessee stud. I was riding in a beautiful land, run smack into an Indian band. Their necks with the whoop and a yell, and I got away like a bat out of hell. Circled the camp for a time or two just to show 'em what a Tennessee horse could do. The redskin boys couldn't get my blood, 'cause I was riding on the Tennessee stud. Tennessee stud was long and lean, color of the sun, and his eyes are green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like Tennessee stud. Rode on back across Arkansas, whooped her brother and I whooped her pa. Found the girl with the golden hair, and she was riding on a Tennessee mare. Now there's two little babies on the cabin floor, and the little horse pulled this round the door. I love the girl with the golden hair, and the Tennessee stud loved the Tennessee mare. Whoop, Tennessee stud was long and lean, color of the sun, and his eyes are green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like Tennessee stud.
Eugene and Jim Nininger. Whoop, you got it? Right here. Dr. Nininger?
Right here.
Dr. Nininger.
Thank you.
Dr. Nininger? Dr. Nininger.
Gene.
Dr. Nininger? Dr. Nininger. Let me ask you this. How come?
You tell us.
Outlet?
Yes, that could be one reason.
My answer is that I had no choice, you know. I was...
Your father was a musician, and that's the way it happened. I heard that, Jim, you rather prefer that your patients maybe not know that you're also in the music business. I can assure you there's no risk of them finding out on this show. considering our ratings, so don't worry about it. Well, I think that's it. You also have other, you have brothers and sisters who also play, don't you?
Yeah, I have, I'm the oldest, and I have a younger brother and sister who are both full-time musicians.
And not psychiatrists.
Not psychiatrists.
Yeah.
They escaped the family disease.
And they both write songs and perform, and we fit in when we can with them, usually. So this was a little different for us to be the headliners, but it was nice.
When the family gets together, is there something, for example, they say, well, let's have roast beef tonight. How do you feel about that? I mean, do they, you know, is there that kind of discussion, anything that's psychiatric?
Really?
Remember last week when we all got together?
Oh, nonsense.
No.
No, I think growing up with the father as a psychiatrist, at least this one, I felt that he was a regular guy. I mean, there are some characters in the business, but...
I'd say he's a lovely guy. We were talking backstage, and he's a lovely guy. You're sort of semi-retired now, eh?
Yes, temporarily. I call it a sabbatical. I'm taking a little time out, but I'm still keeping my finger in, and later I'll get back to it.
Yeah. I happen to love bluegrass music. This is bluegrass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that music. How did you get attracted to that sort of thing?
Actually, I got a Weavers album, I remember, when I was 11 for Christmas. Richie Lowenstein gave me the Weavers at Carnegie Hall.
And I'm sure the FBI was at your door investigating it. Yeah. Well, I think it's a very interesting combination. We had an old dentist jazz band on.
I heard.
And we intend to have an old sociologist bell ensemble.
Great.
We're trying to have various professionals. And well, you're very charming. And I wish I were crazy, because I could use a good friendly
you're doing better
psychiatrist.
already, actually. Just double therapy.
It's very comforting talking to you, and this has been a very psychological show, hasn't it? Let me ask you one question quickly about psychiatry. Is there any hope? I mean, if someone is in therapy a long time, you ever see someone say, "You're cured, don't come next week"? Has that ever happened?
It doesn't happen that way.
No,
In my
it doesn't.
cases.
Well, I think there are all kinds of problems. Some, I think, are very effectively treated in short-term therapy. But if you're talking about fundamental personality change, when that happens, I think it happens after long-term intensive treatment.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if it did happen that they were cured, you would tell them, wouldn't you? Plenty of people lined up to come and take their place.
Well, you try to, but it's you try to be aware of your own, feelings towards the patient. That's called countertransference, and that's part of our training.
Don't you get bored sometime? Yes, you do, but you wouldn't tell them. Anyway, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you,
Jim,
Howard. Enjoyed it.
Eugene, sit when you are. We'll be right back and keep your nails on.